Good morning, everybody. It's me, your boy. Welcome back. Today is a part 2. For today's video, we'll be back inside of Snapshot 22w13a. If you missed the initial Snapshot Showcase video, you're going to be confused. Like,
Really confused. Definitely check that out first.
So, after dropping the Snapshot video, I went back into the Snapshot, messed around, found even more interesting things. Essentially, I'm feeling more enlightened than ever. Today, 22w13a, round 2. I've got more secrets and interesting things for you. If the idea of more Snapshot follow-up videos entices and excites you, then leave a like on this video, and I will definitely do it more. So, first things first, let's start off with some fascinating world generation. Ancient city, marvelous, wonderful, great. This is the seed of this world right here. This is the coordinate of this location. So, off the bat, you know, it's an average ancient city. It's very cool. Until I turn around and realize that this cave seems to keep going. And, not only does this cave keep going, but the city keeps going too. So, this has to be a bug. There's no way this is, like, legit and real, but that is indeed statue thing number 2. And then if we just keep going over here, down through this cave, indeed, yes, statue thing number 3. Quite fascinating. Definitely got to be a bug. This thing is gigantic. That makes this thing like almost 1,000 blocks long, basically. Insane, crazy. But that brings us to the next part. So, in that initial Snapshot video, we were checking out this thing. It's amazing. It's really cool. We flipped into spectator mode and found a secret underneath this thing. A redstone experiment, like showcase testing lab thing. It's really cool. I've learned about this a little bit more. This is one version of this lab. There are actually 3 separate versions of this central structure right here. So this is version number 1. If we fly over here, we should be able to find version number 2. Yeah, this way. Yeah, actually, I had created this world, like, right after dropping the Snapshot video, was messing around, and this is how I realized that there's more than one, like, version of these things. So, number 2, I think this might be the same, actually. Hold on. The dead giveaway is the repeaters. This one is it. This one is definitely different. Inside of this one, we have redstone lamps right there. And the other one, it was like torches and repeaters and everything like that. And then the third version of the central structure that I was able to find. So, unfortunately, it's not inside of that world. It would have been really cool if each one was different. But here's a different world with the third central structure. The third central structure here has a chest out front. The other ones didn't. Now, down below on the inside, this is what we're looking at. More redstone lamps, so very familiar looking. But let's talk about actually breaking into this thing. So, this one with the chest right here. This chest is fascinating. It's very suspicious. So, check this out. Actually, well, why not? We'll go ahead and go survival mode. Go over to the chest, open the chest, and we have a golden carrot. That's it, like a single golden carrot. Now, looking around at this structure itself, the door is always going to be down underneath there, and it's closed right now. This is the door, that part, and that part. How do we open the door? That's another thing that I wasn't able to figure out in the initial Snapshot video, but I've enlightened myself. Check this thing out. So, carrot right here. So, King B-Dog's talking about this one on Twitter. We eat the carrot, which, small problem. Hold on. Take a little bit of damage here so we can eat the carrot, and by the way, we'll stand over here. But anyways, we eat the carrot, and nothing happens. So, I'm not sure if that's like an intended thing or what, but yeah, nothing happened. No big deal. We have a mob over here now. How do we get this here? I don't know. Well, anyways, we take the mob out. And then, if we go down here, well, it worked before. Admittedly, a little bit of a miss there, but let's check this out. We have a puzzle going on here, actually. So there's a skulk sensor right there hooked up to a comparator, which is basically going to sort out a certain type of signal. Then we have this big circuit right here. What I had done is I had taken out a mob up here, up top next to the chest, and then the door down here actually opened. But the door's on a timer, so you're going to have to be quick. So you kind of have to know where the door is, which, spoilers, I kind of already told you where the door is. So, yeah, you set the timer off, the door opens for a little bit, then you can run inside of the lab. Admittedly, though, with that chest one, I might be doing something a little bit wrong. Just wanted to show you that the concept is there. Here's the next version. This is a version with, I believe, even more lamps inside of the thing. So if I run around up here on the ground, unfortunately, nothing happens. The door is right down below there. However, with this one, if I put a chicken right here, or a mob, and then I take it out, the door right there, you heard it, it opened. So then we quickly run down here and then run right inside of the thing, and we're in. This is the second version. So for this one, definitely, absolutely, you take a mob out. Once you're inside of this thing, hit this lever, and that's going to reopen the door so you can actually exit this thing. I haven't dove into the actual structure files too much quite yet, but as far as I can tell, this part is the same in every single ancient city structure. I love this. It's like redstone mechanics. Sure, it's a little bit late game, but I just love that these things are inside of the game here. After all, I see the target block and the lectern as a little bit more like advanced redstone components, probably early game. You're not really like using these things, so I feel like late game inside of this thing, it's like the perfect place for it. It's so cool. So there we go, absolutely. Solution to puzzle number 2. How about puzzle number 3? This one has the walls up top. From all of my testing, all I had to do is essentially run in between those walls, and then a skulk sensor down below detects the motion, and the doors open. This time the doors will just stay open, so once you activate this one time, it's good to go. But yeah, skulk sensor right over there just basically trips this whole signal and opens the door. It would be cool to see a couple other maybe variants of this setup. Maybe even one of the rooms in one of these variants, like let's say this back one, gets replaced with like a noteblock demo lab or something, because like warden vibrations, sounds, you know, everything like that. I feel like it would be kind of cool. Just a couple note blocks with different blocks below them. But there you go, the correct solution to at least 2 of the puzzles. Let's move on. One of the big things that I focused on in the initial snapshot video is the redesign of the city. The city got a little bit like more wide, essentially maybe a little bit more navigatable. There's like 2 layers pretty consistently throughout the city now. We have one right there, and then over here in the center we have staircases to walk up. Why could this be? Heartless Moj, another Minecraft developer Twitter account. He gave us all of the answers we were ever looking for, and more actually. So, I would like to apologize, in case he's watching this video. I kind of was like spamming the Twitter account, just like going through and liking everything. All of these tweets are really, really fascinating. However, there is one specific one that we're looking for this next bit. And here it is. So check this out. My work is shown in this week's beta and snapshot for Minecraft. The work I've done was to tune the ancient city structures so the warden had a better time moving around. I also added some evil bits for those who like to build pillars to avoid the warden. Then it goes on to talk about that whole redstone lab that we were just checking out. That's cool. Now, as far as I'm aware, there weren't very many, if any, warden changes in this week's beta, but maybe that could mean that the warden's like movement box or whatever, hitbox, is going to be maybe a little bit more accurate, because previously it could fit into a 1 wide block space. That's really weird. These hallways are definitely wider. Up top we have like a second layer now, so the warden can walk up top and get you if you're building a pillar. The aesthetics obviously brought up to another level, no pun intended, and the functionality is leveled up too, pun intended. Please kindly allow me to talk about the icebox for one quick second. So this structure right here is the icebox. The icebox is the one with the note blocks. Checked it out for the first time in that first video. Really, really cool. Got the music right there, so musical. We go down here. We got the prank lever from King B-Dogs. It's cool. The icebox. So, confirmed from King B-Dogs and also a lot of you down in the comments. It's essentially a fridge. Yes, the legend himself. Ancient fridge. Ancient fridge. And then a couple more legends down here inside of the comments section. Waddles, I think the ice room is supposed to be a refrigerator. Whoops. The icebox would be an old refrigerator. Whoops. So those 2 right there. And then this one, my theory, icebox, is it's literally freezing food, as it is mostly food. Genius. I knew there was a reason I voted for the LA. Genius. This pile of blue wool. Very, very suspicious. I found something a little bit more interesting about it aside from the pile. If we go inside of this thing, campfire. There's a buried campfire right there that's not lit, but a campfire. I don't know what it means. I thought it was like mildly interesting at the least, but a campfire inside of the blue wool pile. Very nice. So those are a lot of city things. Let's move on to Minecraft Beta and Preview 1.18.30.32.33. The Warden is on Bedrock Edition now, as are the Ancient Cities. I was actually working on a video on this when the snapshot dropped, and almost missed the snapshot thing. It was all legit, but I've scrapped the video. I have the footage and I edited part of it, but I'm not going to release the video. Basically, there was a beta with the Ancient City. It's very, very cool, and the Warden is on Bedrock Edition as well. I feel like the Ancient City was like the original version though. Like, I was looking around. I mean, maybe I'm just missing all the new stuff. Like, check this out. This is the Ancient City right now on Bedrock Edition. Absolutely 1000%. Now that I look at it, direct comparison, this is the old version of the cities. So the cities are here and you can locate them with the locate command, but they're gonna change. They're gonna level up. This is like the experimental snapshot version of the Ancient City. Moving on from the Ancient City to the Shrieker. There was a big Shrieker change in this most recent snapshot. So check this out. This is a Shrieker, a naturally generated Shrieker down here in the deep dark. Right there, a new tag. can summon. True. So that shrieker basically can summon a warden if I set it off. This shrieker that I just placed in here, made a bunch of noise, set things off, cannot summon. This new shrieker tag is interesting to say the least, for sure. So this basically means that essentially if we pick the shrieker up that can summon and then I place it back down, it now cannot summon. Only naturally generated shriekers will be able to summon the warden, which means if you want to take this thing on, deep dark, maybe the ancient city, but deep dark at the least. That's 100% where it is. This is an interesting change. I feel mixed about it, but one thing that is definitely nice about this change is if you're a builder, you can now safely build where shriekers like at your base. The PewDiePie Minecraft base incident, it will never happen now. You can place the shrieker down and it's just safe for aesthetics. I don't know, I think it's cool, I think it's nice, but I kind of think it should also be done in a different way. Like, what if you maybe pick up the shrieker and then you combine it with something, maybe like amethyst or something, and it's essentially a muted shrieker or something? So, like, you could pick a shrieker up and set up a farm somewhere if you wanted to. I don't know, just a thought. My snapshot world, my beautiful snapshot world, I was able to recover it. Big excitement down in the comments for this one. This is huge. More specifically, another thing that is huge is, haha, funny, awkward, reinforced Deepslate. Something that I briefly mentioned, but then essentially completely ignored in the snapshot video. This is one of the big reasons we're here today, so check this thing out. The reinforced Deepslate block looks really, really cool. Now, if you're familiar with the experimental snapshot, it's very, very similar. Essentially, you can't get this thing in survival. You can mine it, but it won't drop anything, kind of like a spawner, and it mines really, really slow. Let's compare the texture to some Deepslate things. Here we go. Compared to cobbled Deepslate, it's very, very similar right there. Of course, we have this bone spine thing in the middle of reinforced Deepslate, but yeah, that's kind of how it fits in. Now, comparing it to maybe some other things over there, we have a catalyst, there we have the bone block, there we have endstone, reinforced Deepslate. How does it fit in with these three? I mean, it fits. It's very, very similar there. Of course, the catalyst is, excuse me. Of course, the catalyst right there, that's going to be like almost a perfect match. This stuff is meant to be bone, I believe, but still, it like looks so similar to endstone, but it's bone. I have been experimenting with this thing. Like I said, you can still mine it. It just goes really, really slow. I'll show you in a second. Can you move it with a piston or maybe even a sticky piston? Can you like move and pull it? That's been changed. So, originally in the experimental snapshot, basically you could take this thing and move it around with a piston. Really, really cheaty feeling, but yeah, that's how it worked. The mining thing, like I said, check this out. This is my fast pickaxe right here, and we're slow, and then very fast, which is this one with efficiency 5. If we mine this thing, still very, very slow, but with this one, eventually, if we pay close attention, we will notice that right there, it's working. Now, how about explosions? Can I blow this thing up? So, TNT right there. Go ahead and back up. I cannot blow this thing up. It's immune to explosions as well. Man, you gotta feel really bad for the chickens today. So, for some reason, very fast. By the way, it has sharpness 5 on it. I don't know why, but yeah, it does. Check this out. Brand new late game advancement. We have the catalyst right there. We have a chicken right there. The poor chicken. Like I said, I feel so bad. Advancement right there. It, lowercase, spreads. Is this a Waddle's Easter egg? I feel like the advancements usually are like one of the last things to come into the snapshot, so I don't know, just kind of interesting. I think there's a long ways to go with the wild update, or at least a little bit of a ways to go, but yeah, interesting. Now, if you saw this video right here, you would know that in that video, we talked about railing the warden a little bit. Well, officially, the warden is like the only mob, I think, in maybe the entire game that knows how to deal with rails. You can no longer rail the warden. Yeah, yikes. And so, that is where we're going to leave it today. 22w13a Part 2. Thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.